Dominick Reyes almost defeated the greatest. Alright, what's going on everybody? Mini Macho here, and I'm back with another video. And this time it didn't take 5 months to upload again. But we got the light heavyweights this week. We got Dominick Reyes versus Carlos Ulberg, and they're fighting down under in Australia. And this fight could have some title implications behind it, because the following week we're going to have Magomed Ankalaev defending his title for the first time against Alex Pereira. You know, if everything goes right, the winner of this fight could slide into that next title shot. And here's some main event stats for you too. Carlos Ulberg, this is going to be his first UFC main event, so we've never seen him go past that third round. And for Dominick Reyes, this is going to be his it'd actually be his fourth main event, but his fifth time heading into a 5-round fight. Currently in 5-round fights, he's 1-3, with that one being against Chris Weidman, which in 2019 is not really that good. But the fight against Jon Jones, really good. He put the pace on Jon Jones, and I think that kind of changed his mindset because he gassed himself out in a way. Not really, but he definitely slowed down in those championship rounds. And it seemed like he was fighting a little bit slower in the Jan and Yuri fights. Oh my god. But since going on a 3 knockout loss streak, now Dominick Reyes has rebounded and he's on a 3 knockout win streak. And the main weapon that Dominick Reyes likes to utilize is that rear left hand. But on the other side of this fight, we have Carlos Ulberg, and his main weapon, almost all of his knockouts have come off of the lead left hook. I think that this fight is going to be determined by one of those weapons, either the rear straight or the lead left hook. But here's the thing, since going on that knockout loss streak, Dominick Reyes has tried to improve his defense, and he's done it pretty good. If you look against like Jan Blachowicz, he had that high tight guard, and that's why Jan was able to get a lot of body kicks off of it as Dominick is circling to his left. Since he has the hands up high, he can't block the kicks. If you look at his last fight with Nikita Krylov, he circles in the same way, but keeps his left hand up and his right hand a little bit lower, not directly blocking his body, but able to switch if need be. Since he has the right hand down, he's going to be susceptible to that left hook because they're southpaw versus orthodox. And if Dominick Reyes tries to revert back to his old ways and uses that high tight guard, if you look at the fight against Volkan Oezdemir, Nikita Krylov was going to that body with the lead left hook. Even a lot of the fights, he goes to that right hand to the body as they're circling like Dominick Reyes likes to do. It's going to be dangerous because Carlos Ulberg likes to throw a lot of head kicks. I mean, he trains with Israel Adesanya and Volkanovski, so they're very versatile in their striking. You could see impressions of their training within Carlos Ulberg's fights. But just because Darren Till trained with Khamzat Chimaev, that didn't help him beat Dricus du Plessis. And the same can be said with Carlos Ulberg. He's not a defensive wizard like Volkanovski or Adesanya are. Majority of the time, if Carlos Ulberg's strikes land, his hands are going to drop all the way down to his hips. It's more notable when you see his jabs or his left hooks. Not as often with his right hand, but it still kind of does the same thing. And you saw a lot of left hooks get through from Volkan Oezdemir. You know, like I could see Carlos Ulberg throwing that right hand. Dominick Reyes slips to the left on the outside and then comes over the top with that rear straight. Dominick Reyes can pack a punch too. I don't think Carlos Ulberg has as much power as him, but Dominick Reyes is kind of like a glass cannon. And although he's been working on the defense, it's still not too good. Like he could see the first shot coming to him, slip it and counter off of it. But when you start stringing them together in combination, that's when he'll cover up and try and circle away. That's when Carlos Ulberg could follow him, continue with the combination, try not to get hit by that left straight. But as Dominick Reyes tries to circle away from that left hook, hit him with the right kick to the body, because that's the side he's going to like to keep up high. And with that right kick, he's going to want to circle to the other way, right into the left hook. This fight has the potential to be boring, but I don't think it's going to be, because they're both two counter strikers in a way. More Carlos Ulberg, he's better at being patient than Dominick Reyes. Dominick Reyes can sometimes force stuff to happen, but Carlos Ulberg is okay with keeping it boring. Like in the Jan Blachowicz fight, not too much action. But if you look at Dominick Reyes, the last time he saw a decision was against Jon Jones, and before that was in 2019 against Volkan Oezdemir. Dominick Reyes also has this defensive habit of posting on his opponent's body. By pushing his opponents away, Dominick Reyes is trying to create space, but by doing this, he's going to expose his body and his head completely for Carlos Ulberg to get those hooks in. This could be one of the ways that Carlos Ulberg knocks out Dominick Reyes. If he strings together a combination of hooks, a couple of them are going to get through, and if that left hook lands on Dominick Reyes' chin, we don't know what could happen. He might go down because of it. His chin is kind of the X factor of this fight. Can he take Carlos Ulberg's best shots at least a couple of times? Because we know he can't do it for 25 minutes. Alright, but let's get into my pick. I really don't know how this one's going to go because the two have similar dimensions. I mean, they have the same height, the same reach. They're only separated in age by 13 months. I'm not too sure, but I am leaning Carlos Ulberg, and the main factor is Dominick Reyes' chin. We're not sure how many shots that man can take. I think the fight's going to start round 1. They're both going to be tentative, but for different reasons. Carlos Ulberg is going to be getting a feel for the fight. In his last 2 fights against Volkan Oezdemir and Jan Blachowicz, he was a little bit slower, and I think that's because his competition got raised. And on the other side, I think that Dominick Reyes is going to start slow because he's going to be doing the same thing, but also because of that chin. So I don't think it'll be that exciting of a first round. Just a lot of leg kicks, probably some jabs, getting the feel out. But that second round is going to start, and it just depends on who engages who first. I think that Dominick Reyes is going to pressure more, and he's probably going to walk into a left hook at some point, and it just depends on how he takes it. Once he gets hit big once, he's going to circle away, and I think that Carlos Ulberg is going to use his elite footwork. It's way better than Dominick Reyes. If you look at this picture right here, Dominick Reyes' feet are not in the proper position at all. But he's going to follow it up, and he's going to string together a 4-punch combination, probably ended with a body or head kick. And to either side, that's going to be bad for Reyes because of the way he's blocking. Carlos Ulberg is going to have options to go wherever he wants with his kicks. Really, the only way I see that Dominick Reyes could win is by a finish, and it's going to be whenever Carlos Ulberg's throwing a bunch of punches and his hands drop. He's going to slip on the outside and throw over the shoulder of Ulberg. Hold up. Did that rhyme? He's probably going to slip it, and they're going to crash into each other, and Dominick Reyes is going to post, try and push him away, and then Carlos Ulberg is going to repeat the same thing over and over. So my official pick will be Carlos Ulberg with a round 3 knockout. That being said, I hope that Dominick Reyes wins, man. It would be so cool seeing this guy almost beat the man of the sport to go on a sad 3-fight knockout loss streak. And now he's back. He's got momentum riding into this fight. And it'd be so cool to get him the win. And then he's probably going to... He could fight for a title if he wins. I don't know, man. If he wins the title, it'd be like Rocky Balboa. It would be such an epic comeback. But we don't get too many fairy tales like that, you know? Not in MMA. I just think that Carlos Ulberg is either going to knock him out with the left hook or a high kick. I wouldn't be that surprised, too, I think, if he finishes him with body strikes. But yeah, that's all I really got for today, guys. UFC Perth this weekend. The main event I'm really looking forward to, but if you look at the rest of the card, bro, it's not good. It's less than mid, bro. Both Tafa brothers are on this card, bro. You already know it's not going to be good. They are the worst heavyweight, light heavyweight combination, whatever. Royce brothers in MMA. We're siblings, I guess, actually. Really, like, other than the main event, the only people that are on the card that I'm looking forward to watching are, like, the Jack Jenkins fight. Jimmy Crute's alright. And then Jake Matthews and Neil Magny is okay. Neil Magny is kind of whatever, I guess. But Jake Matthews, I like watching. He's got some really good boxing. Other than that, not too many notable names. I'm just mad that they got the Tafa brothers on the card, really. I think one of them actually pulled out. Let me check. Okay, so yeah, Junior Tafa actually pulled out. And he was co-maining. So now I guess Jack Jenkins might be co-maining. I'm not sure. Unless they find a replacement this week. I don't know if the card got worse or got better with Junior Tafa pulling out, to be honest. I mean, how are you 6-4 and you're co-maining a card like this, you know? UFC, bro, they're not even trying. Like, what are they doing? Why is this the co-main? Like, this is some L-tier matchmaking, bro. UFC Perth this weekend, Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes. Round 3 knockout for Ulberg. That's what I got. Let me know what you all think in the comments below about my breakdown and your opinion on the fight. Just make sure when you do that, you also subscribe by head kicking that subscribe button. So, peace out, everybody. Talk to you soon.